Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so we are continuing in our discussions on healing and on the self-help healing journey. And another important piece or layer, if you will, of the complexity of wounding, right? And some of the work that needs to be done to peel back the layers and basically reestablish potentially a foundation that was disrupted by whatever, you're needing to heal from, right? So a big part of that, I've spoken about it as far as radical acceptance, because we do have to accept things that we wouldn't choose, but a big piece of that, and it's kind of counterintuitive, and most people will fight it. I did as well myself on my healing journey, and that is surrendering. Now, no one likes to hear the word surrender, right? No one likes to take steps towards surrendering, right? Because we largely live in a society that's ego-based, right? And we fight everything, right? It's a lot of fighting, winning, ego-based stuff. And even in healing from illnesses and diseases, they'll say, oh, she's fighting it, or he's fighting it. They're fighting the good fight. There's a lot of resistance to what is, and that's why surrendering is so important in any healing journey. And by surrendering, what we mean by surrendering is to accept what is. Because surprisingly enough, when we resist what is, we create more hurting, right? We create more inner dissonance, like an inner turmoil, right? When we are resisting and fighting, if you will, what is happening in our life, what we're experiencing in our life, what we're feeling in our bodies, right? And whenever we resist what is, it kind of gives it fuel, right? And then it makes it harder and it goes on longer maybe than it needs to. And a big part of this is having a level of, and this is huge, trust and faith that even though we're hurting, or even though we were wounded, or even though things happen that we didn't want to happen, we have trust and faith in something bigger than ourselves, a higher power, a higher purpose, God, universe, angels, believing in something bigger than me, bigger than my experience, bigger than how I feel, right? Because we're conditioned that way, to be in our ego, to be in a me society, and this really requires a belief, a strength in surrendering and saying, you know what, I don't really know why this happened or why it's happening. And I'm going to trust that it's for a bigger purpose than just me. And when we surrender and we trust, there's like a relief, right? It's like carrying a weight. We're carrying it around and it's heavy and it's a burden. It affects our bodies. It affects our emotions. It affects our relationships. But when we free ourselves and release that burden and release that heaviness that goes from resisting what is, there's a light that happens, right? There's a freedom that happens. It's a process, and it definitely doesn't happen overnight. But when we have an awareness of, I can't resist everything that happens in my life. When I resist what is, I'm only hurting myself, because things happen. Life is how it is, right? We don't get to decide. And that's the big part of the human experience, is fighting what is, thinking that we know better. And when we trust that we might not know better, there might be a bigger, better purpose that we could never even have imagined or created ourselves. But it unfolded before us because we trusted, because we let go, because we didn't resist. So our guards were down, right? And then we kind of flow in like the river of life, right? We're just on a river flowing. If you stuck your oars in going down a river and you're trying to fight the current, right, you're really going to struggle and extend a lot of energy and really fight and wear yourself out and wear yourself down, and then eventually the river just sweeps you off anyway, right? So some of this is about learning. Of course, there's, you know, it requires a level of what do I want to say, like intuition, and a level of having faith and trust and making good choices for yourself as you're going through this process. It's not to say you just surrender, let go, sit back and go, I can't do anything. And then, you know, you have the action or reaction from that, right? We're just saying we're not going to resist everything. We're going to sit in peace and approach it from a peaceful perspective and a proactive, not necessarily a reactive space. Okay, so something to think about, like a nugget to think about, like how much are you resisting what is in your life? And how often do you surrender to what is and to find peace? So I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear your comments down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye. Wishing you peace, love, and healing on your journey. Bye-bye.